So let's have a review of the Clarke garage. Yeah, do you remember? We bought it about 3 years ago. It's probably 3.5 years old now. Remember, we put the tube in here, we put the plastic, cut it in half and then put a copper tube in there to weigh it down. We made the gallows. I don't think everyone's got the gallows, but it's been a great thing. The gallows. Made the frame and braced it corner to corner. Stop it popping off, just put some G-clamps there. Just to hold this up. It's good to have the plastic and the copper tube to hold it down, keeps it straight, but then of course you've got to lift it up. These were never a good idea. What you gained in lack of weight and easy to clip up, you lost in rigidity in the door. So, but I tell you what, I didn't think it was going to last this long. It's very, it's in places, it's showing signs. We've got the first storm of the year on its way. I think if it's going to show any weaknesses, it'll show the weaknesses. We have had a blowout here, but that was more of my not tying it down proper than the garage itself. This back panel's done really well, but there's a wall behind there and there's a wall behind there, so up against the building in the corner, so it's not in too much of an exposed place. But when you look at it on the camera, it does not breathe in and out. Wow, these go up and down, filled full of air. So I'm really pleased with it. I can't knock it. For the price we paid for a building and for the job it's done, it's not only kept the worst of the weather and the twigs and the filth off the car, it's kept the sun off the car, because we didn't use the car very much. It stood for about 6 months, didn't do anything. Maybe longer, because Debbie worked from home, didn't she? We bought it to go to Shrewsbury, and then Debbie decided it was too much going to Shrewsbury every day, which was perfectly acceptable. So it stood here, didn't it? So, it's done a very good job. I am impressed. What was it, 500 quid? I don't even think it was that. I keep meaning to. I will build another. When this has to go, then I'll build another building instead. But it's doing really well. Really, see how it breathes? It seems to be okay, not catching. We've tied it down well, haven't we? We've tied the frame from the inside. This is a gas bottle full of water. Chop the tap off. Same here, look, chop the tap off. And then filled it full of water. That holds it down. These two, there's a tank there and a tank there. Oxygen tank. They're full of water, but they're heavy on their own. And then this is full of water. This is a 45 gallon full of water. So it's strapped onto the plank that goes underneath it. And they're sitting on the wood. So it's not going to go anywhere. It's not going to take off. It might rip and flap. It might be coming towards the end of its, look, you can see the stress. I just hope it doesn't rip and continue ripping, But I am really, because they're only a temporary building, aren't they? I'm really pleased with it. And the zip, sometimes the zip plays up, but you only have to get a pair of pliers and squeeze, the back bit of the zip here where it clips. Squeeze them together quite hard, and so the zips are doing okay. If I had an option of a heavy duty zip, then I'd go for that option. Would they, if they put an option of a heavy duty with extra pads where the metal touches the thing, and you paid you know, half as much again, but you knew you had a heavy duty one, I think I'd go for that option. If I could buy another one with, do you remember on the jumpers, on the army type and the navy and the air force jumper, they had wear pads on the shoulders, didn't they, and then on the elbows. So if these had an extra strong pad in them and sold as a heavy duty one, I'd be very tempted to buy a heavy duty one, because this one's done fantastic. I think it's done really well. It's past my expectation. Yeah, it's past my expectation. It's done really well. And I guess it'll last another year. We'll have to keep an eye on that. But 3.5 years in, it's showing some signs of wear, but generally it's doing really well. I didn't expect it to last this long. I think, all things considered, because it sits behind this gate, so it's this far away, the gate shuts up like this, see? It sits behind the gate here, it's protected by that wall there. There's a wall behind it, a brick wall behind it. It only sticks the front bit out. There's a gap in here. So it's in a pretty sheltered area, but it still gets battered. And I think I'm really impressed. I think it's done really well for the money and the speed, for the convenience of putting it up. It's I'm really impressed with it. Yeah. Let's see if she gets through this winter. See how hard the winters are this winter. That's the only thing that I added. Look, the gallows braced it corner to corner, just so that I could roll the door up and keep it up like this, see. Otherwise, it's a bit of a nuisance holding that door open. But I'm waiting for Debbie to come home now. And I'll leave this like this now, all open, ready for Debbie to come home. Yeah, I'm home before her. But yeah, I'm really impressed with the Clarke garage.